Yo, what is up? We are back. What's going on, guys? So today we have a return. It's really cool. So a few days ago, we did the front doors off stream in 20% to match the back, or 35. I don't remember offhand. I think it was to match the back. Could have been 35 though. I can put a meter on it and make sure. Anyways, we did ceramic on the front doors. But what's really cool about a situation like this is once you feel ceramic on your front doors, then you kind of want to put it on the windshield too. So that's what we're back here today to do. We're going to be putting ceramic on the full windshield, and then he's got a panoramic sunroof. So we're going to be doing that as well too. Oh my God, that is so loud. Oh my God. Okay, that's going to blast my ears out. Okay, I think it's a little better now. How you guys doing? So, we're going to be jumping into this pretty quick here. Aw. That was nice. Awesome channel. Congrats on 84,000. Thank you. We're slowly eking our way up there. Eventually, we'll get that plaque, and then I'll retire. How much for the windshield and sunroof? What was it? 400 total. So we're doing 200 for the windshield and 200 for the sunroof. Have you tried Joy with Geo? I have. I wasn't a fan. It was kind of like using Dawn. So I actually have a bottle here. It was harder for me to find this. I can show you here real quick. I think it's more for people that, oh, I guess not. I don't know. This stuff, it honestly seemed a little bit more, like a little bit thinner. So it's cheap soap, and I think it's for the guys that like it a little bit more tacky. I don't know. I had a similar experience with only Dawn, but this stuff seemed just a little bit thinner, so. Yeah, tried that, tried Ajax, tried Palm Olive, tried Dollar Store baby shampoo. Honestly, what I settle on for Geo is I mix these both together. It doesn't have to be purple. You can use the purple or the gold. They have the purple. So I'll do like a quarter to a third of this, and then I'll do like 2/3 to 3/4 of this. So more of this with like a big sploosh of this. Really, I just switched from Soap Bomb, and the Joy is way better in my opinion. Is it sticky? Like a little more tacky, or does it slide all over the place? Because when I was using it, it just seemed really tacky still. We could revisit it again, but you're set up for doing dishes for a while. Yes, sir. Slides really well. Maybe we'll have to revisit it again. I don't know. It was just kind of one of those things where I tried it, and I was like, has to be oh, well, what the heck? I got Ultra Joy. See, it's got the little. Nobody told me that. Nobody told me it's got to be non-ultra. What's the difference between ultra and non-ultra? See, that's why I appreciate the discussions on these too, though. So there's people that are like, yeah, I took the door panels off that, but they're like, okay. There's this Lexus, for example, and they're like, pull the sweeps, it's super easy. So I popped the panel back, I pulled the seal out, and then they're like, oh, if you want to put the seal back in, you have to disassemble the whole door panel. And I'm like, really? You could have said that beforehand. So when we get into soaps, it's like, oh, but it's got to be this specific one. So I appreciate that. It's not just Joy, it's that specific one. Yeah, we don't have Joy around here. We have depression. How much soap you use? So the rule of thumb is always 1 ounce per gallon. It's kind of hard for me to say exactly how much to use. I just give like a good size squeeze. And then with the baby shampoo, I give like 3 good size squeezes to it with the top off. Like it's just kind of like, so a lot, probably like 7 or 8 ounces worth of soap in total. Maybe not quite that much, maybe like 6. That's in a 3-gallon, no, that's in a 5-gallon tank, but 4 gallons of water. Could I have your tint gag? You know, we're supposed to give it away still, and I haven't. I like it, but we will be giving it away. But no, I can't just give it to you. I'm sorry. Alrighty. Well, let's from Ego Shield. Ultra means you use less soap than the non-ultra. Oh, you know, I know. There's it's supposed to be more concentrated. At least that's what I think the ultra stands for. But we just use a lot. I'm laughing because there was a comment that rearranged the letters of Geo to Ego. How much would you charge for the Classic Pro from Ego Shield? We're gonna shield our egos here. It totally depends on your business. So the prices are all over the place with everyone. Here, entry is usually $240, and I'm gonna be eking that price up. All right, so let's put on the GoPro. We good? Test. Sweet. Canon. GoPro. Awesome. All right, we are off to the races now. Show us how you pull the whole liner off on the door and get a clean job. How you pull the whole liner off on the door. I don't do that. That's not how I do things. You know that. I've been watching all your videos for the past week. I've learned a lot. Keep it up. Placed an order online with you yesterday. Can't wait. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Glad you like the channel. That means a lot. Oh, lots of soap. 1 second squirt of joy and a 1.5 gallon tank was a game changer. I used Dawn and Joy in various ratios and it never worked how I want. So Joy, but the non-ultra version. What's up with Glass 8? Any news? Not yet. I sent them another message today, so hopefully I'll hear back today. Might want to reset something. The video is real sticky. Is it really bad? It doesn't seem like it, but I can do it in case. No. Hang on 1 second. We'll just do this in case. Yeah, it looks smooth on my end too. Check set the settings on your viewer, like your little player. Set it to 60. Sometimes if it does it in 30, it looks kind of chuggy. I freaked out a while ago because I saw that. It's fine here. Yeah, everybody else is good. It'll sometimes do that though. Like, so if I load one of my videos, I kind of freak out for a second because it looks chuggy. And then switch it to 60 or let it load for a second. It's annoying, but that's how it is. Oh, so I outfitted some Fusion 5 handles, or some Fusion Shorty handles. Look at that. Doesn't that look fucking cool? All right, so what should we use? I know what we're gonna use. We're gonna use this one. But isn't that cool? It's like every blade, 5 shorty handles, already outfitted with some different blades. So I put ones like the Pink Clean and the Red Line because I haven't used them yet. So it's kind of like the ultimate squeegee handle drawer right there. It's pretty fun. Just bought a new house, building a brand new tint area with garage with my tint earrings over the last few years. Can't thank you enough, man. Oh, you're welcome. That's gonna be sick. Congrats on the new house. That's awesome. Tracy, I remember you asked a little bit about you were doing front doors, right? It's been a little while since I've been on the live stream. Welcome, sir. Baby is doing well. He's a little over 8 months old now. He's crawling all over the place. Dang. Binge watch your videos. In the past week, I've tinted my vet, my wife's sedans, and my brother's Camaro. Damn, you got a tint business now. All right, so on this one, since we're doing a sunroof along with the windshield, you guys know we can always prep the windshield first because it has to dry. So instead of just standing around and drinking coffee, which I love, we're going to get a jump on this. And then I remembered my, we have a couple things that we can talk about today, which is fun. So I remembered the dash protector 2. It's been through the wash, and I have a couple of things that I want to talk about with it. We're going to still use it today, but there's a few little things that concerned me out of the first wash, like I was kind of told. Not as bad, but some concerning things. So we'll talk about that. And it's trash, we know. Spoilers, it's not trash. It just might degrade quickly. And then we also can talk about, I don't know, should we do it today? I've got a Fusion heat gun, and I've got the Wagner heat gun. We did a comparison yesterday of 2 heat guns. So I picked up this guy, and it's just not as fast. It wasn't as fast as the Wagner. So the Wagner probably versus this guy right here. Get to try a whole bunch of stuff. Does he have a GeoShield jumper suit? No, but he does have a Detroit Tint Studio one. And also, he's got a WizKid one from Tint Wiz, which was pretty great. But they grow out of them so fast. And baby clothes, man, I don't know. They're all over the place with, like, age range. He's wearing stuff that says 24 months right now. Not everything, but it's just like you get something and it's like it says 12 months, and it's like, yeah, that's not 12 months. You know, I just noticed we're going the opposite way. Why did I start that way? I don't know. The heat gun goes bye-bye in like 2 months. That's unfortunate. I had a Porter cable last a good 8 months. I was like, this thing's not going to die that quick. And then people were telling me like 3 to 6 months or something like that. and then the heat gun lasted like 8. Like as soon as I started seeing posts of people saying that they were losing them. Cursed mine. But it's fun to try stuff like that because they get like so high. They're like, that's the best heat gun around. And it's like, let's find out. I think like it's $50 and it's beefier. It should be better, right? It's not. It's not. It's a good heat gun. But if you buy both of them and you do a side-by-side comparison, the $20 Wagner is faster. Like a whole 30-second faster. Seeing you use Glass Aid makes me sad. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll cut that little tab out. Here, should I do that? Woo! Does that make you more sad? Let's grab one of these. Oh, I need to find my 70% out of everything. So it should be in that pile. So we have a couple of stickers. It is smart to take the stickers off first, but we're going to be not smart. How much do you charge for the sunroof? So the sunroof is like 50 starting per panel, and so with ceramic it's 100 per panel. It would make us feel better, just check it across the shop. But I need it. I know you guys need it too. Does 30 seconds or 1 minute difference worth the price of the heat gun? Well, if you can spend $30 less and you can save a minute or more per back window, I'd say that's amazing savings all the way around. But if you want to spend more money and waste more time, then get the other one. A good alternative for Glass Aid is white pinstriping from Amazon. Yep, any white pinstriping will help with seeing. But that is not the whole story with it. So if you're going to use pinstriping, you're going to want to probably double up on it. So it'll get you by in the meantime. So the thing that drives me crazy about sunroofs is how awkward they are to like get up here and cut them out. They're not that hard. They're really not hard to tint. It's the cutting portion that drives me crazy. It's just, they're already factory tinted. So trying to see where that little difference is will kind of drive you crazy. So we're going to clean this up real nice. You know, a beefier bright light would have definitely helped. I should have picked up something that kind of has more of like a lantern effect, because we can now leave it here. But I don't do sunroofs that often either. I really don't. I think they're great to tint, but not everybody can justify the cost of it, I guess. Or they're just like, it's got a shade, I'll just put the shade over. But when you like driving with it open, which, when you have a roof like this, like I got a similar roof in the Blazer, it's super fun to leave the shade open. But the sun gets annoying. Reminds me, I gotta get one of these things too.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $9.99. Master Matt Gumustapo. Watching you do these videos is
Super
like drinking
chat.
the best coffee and tea morning. Hurrah.
I can't hear the voice. I gotta fix it. I don't know when it finishes. But Daniel Reyna with the first super chat. Followed by Tracy.
Super chatted $9.99.
Super chat war. Daniel Reyna with the 10. Master Mac Mustapo. Watching these videos is like drinking the best coffee in the morning. Hurrah. Thank you, sir. I always appreciate it. Cheers, buddy. And then Tracy with the 10. Thank you very much.
Alligator window tint super chatted $10. When people ask your
Ooh.
prices and you give them all options, including sunroofs and windshields, it opens the
Oh, it's still
conversation
talking.
without
See
upselling.
it.
Hashtag pro tip.
Yay, Alligator with the 10. Well, I guess we'll switch back here for a second. Alligator with the 10. Good God. 3 super chats all back to back. $10. Thank you. When people ask prices and you give them all options, including sunroofs and windshields, it opens up the conversation without upselling. Hashtag pro tip. Thank you, sir. That is very, very true. So whenever I have somebody ask about pricing, I go, what are you looking for? Do you want the full vehicle or do you want the full vehicle with the windshield? The more that you bring up, the more it does open up that conversation. Thank you very much for that. That's a great tip for everybody. And then you can also ask people questions too. Because when somebody is like, I want tint, everybody just kind of assumes why. Do they want it for, like, what are the reasons that they want it? So you got to kind of figure all that out. So they could have kids. You can start asking about that. Like, do you have kids? You interested in heat rejection? Probably more often than not, you're going to get people that are just like, I want my car tinted because I want tint. And that's like, okay, that's all good. But then you can keep poking. Yeah, this is going to be difficult.
Swalligang super chatted $4.99.
Who is that?
I've been
What?
watching
I'm
lots
trying to
of
read the
videos.
super chat.
Daniel Reyna funds the channel
Swole Gang. What's up, bud? Swole Gang with a 5. I've been watching your vids. I've been watching lots of your vids. Daniel Reyna funds the channel. He does. This is his channel now. No, it's not. It's mine. But I much appreciate the support. Thank you so much for the 5. Yeah, this is, God, I hate these things. Does your family watch your streams? Actually, yes, they do. They put them on at home. And my wife told me the most heartwarming thing is, so when you guys see my dumb face on the screen, viewership goes down. But when I pop up on screen, apparently my son smiles and laughs, so that's great. Good God, they just keep coming today.
Daniel Reyna super chatted $9.99.
Daniel Reyna with the 10.
Yeah, you
all
all
didn't know he was Borg? Is that like Star Trek Borg there? Ooh, it fits there. That helps. Yeah, I should have got a better light. So the trick with these is just trying to see where your line cutouts are. Some sunroofs make them really easy to see and give you a lot of space, and there's a lot of them that actually don't give you very much space at all. So your lines have to be really, really close. So sunroofs, they're giant quarter windows, but the trick is just trying to figure out where those lines are, because they all blend in, and then you have like awkward angles and a dark cabin and stuff. So get yourself a bright light. I'm telling myself this too. get yourself a bright light, and then hopefully you won't have this problem in the next time. Sunroofs and quarters are reason enough to get a plotter. You know, I don't know. I've never really used them for sunroofs, actually. This is like, tinting sunroofs might become more popular for me, but it's so infrequent. This might be the first sunroof I've tinted all year, which is just kind of crazy. Maybe they'll become like windshields. So if you ask me about windshields about 4 or 5 years ago, up here, most people weren't thinking about doing windshields. So hopefully that'll change in the future. Said that a few years ago about, there you go, exactly. And then this one comes into here. We're gonna have people jump me for glass aid. Leave the squeegees, take the glass aid. Do you recommend replacing the blade after what? How often? Sorry, I missed the end of that. So you're going to be snapping blades pretty often here. We haven't really cut much, but you just regularly snap blades. Usually a blade's going to last through like an entire car, and then so a new blade for every car. Buy blades by the 50s, 50 pack. I'm glad that I have a little bit more room on the inside for this one. And then that should be straight there. Connected lines. I'm too short. All right, so that should be good. And then we can see it on the inside too. Looks like, as long as we stay slightly wide, yep, we'll be good. That's good. And then we're doing 70 on this too, so it'll be really easy to see. That's the other helpful part. Do you break the blade per window then? So there isn't an exact science, but it'll be like a couple of cuts, snap a blade, couple of cuts, snap a blade. Sometimes a little bit longer than that, and where you're cutting on the blade matters too. So there'll be, you'll see, just pay attention. Look at that. All right. So, is this gonna reach all the way across? Whoa. Does that really? Just like a hair? Wow. That's surprising. I didn't think it was gonna reach. Or, what do you mean snap the blade? Oh. Probably a stupid question. No, so this definitely isn't going to reach that way. What do you think? Do you think we can... It'd be smarter to shrink this way, but I mean, they're pretty flat, so we can go the long way too, and then it looks like it's just gonna barely fit. So we'll keep one going this way. Wow, it does, barely fits. 36 wide. Thank you, Ford engineer. But wow, that was sloppy. We're at the end of the roll though. Cool. Okay, so snapping a blade. You have all these little lines here. So these are 9mm wide, and they have a bunch of little indents here. So when you snap a blade, like, you're not changing a blade for everything. You take this little snapper thing out at the bottom, and then ting. So now you have a nice sharp point here that you can cut with. So you're not, like, this will dull out relatively quickly. So within a handful of cuts, it's going to start dulling, especially when you're cutting directly on the glass going around. But yeah, every little bit, you're going to take the blade and just ding, just like that, and then keep going. I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull it over to the other side. Mind blown. You're very welcome. That's why I try not to assume everything that people know or don't know. That one was a little surprising, but I'm glad. That's what these are good for. There we go. Much better. Seeing how much water you spray, do you recommend a tint keg versus the spray bottle? You do go through a fair amount. I used the pump bottles in the very beginning because that's all that was available. I prefer the tint kegs. But if you need to save a little money in the beginning, that way, then there's nothing wrong with using one of the pump spray bottles. And then there's lots of people that have been tinting for a long time that still use them. It'd be cheaper to just get a pump sprayer and then see how you like it. Wow. See right there? We went through about half. So the blade's starting to dull out a little bit, but we're still making our cut. I did 3 cars and didn't know the snap blade. Well, now your blades will work longer for you. That's why classes are good too, because those are little things that you don't necessarily notice. I don't like advertise how much I snap, but you know, if you go back through and watch the videos, you'll see me snapping blades all the time. I feel so tall. Just ordered a hybrid blade. You'll like it. I just ordered a vise. So I think I found the perfect tool to help trim a blade. I mean, I've seen people use a vise and a straight edge, so that's not new. But finding the right vise when you don't have a fixed workbench or whatever, like, we're going to kind of stick it over there, and you'll see, it's a little cooler. It's a little cooler than an ugly vise. So we'll be able to get some type of, like, method down for sharpening the blades, like squeegee blades, so they'll last a little bit longer. And then if you get one and it's got a little nick in it, you just take it over to your bench and swing, keep going. I'm excited. It'll look cool. Can you link your compressor? It'd take me a little bit to find it. So I don't have like a strong air compressor. I have one, look, if you want, so I've got two. I've got this one that's supposed to go on the wall, so just search on Amazon for True Flat with an E. And then I have that air compressor, that's for the balloon. That's by, I don't know, look for Quiet Air Compressor. Forgot what company does this. Is it California? California Air Tools. They make really quiet air compressors. And like, way quieter, but that's a really small one. That's just for the balloon. Yeah, this is plenty good here. Just a little snap on one side, a little snap on the other side. Nothing crazy. We'll both fill up a spray tank. For the spray tank, I just use the one that goes on the wall. Yeah, it fills up a spray tank. Totally fine. There's so many little like cheap air compressors that'll fill up a spray tank. Just make sure they go up to like anywhere from like up to like 100 to 150 is usually what they'll do. You can find them all over the place for like $30. I have one that's in the Blazer right now because I had to fix a flat. That was not super fun, but I did it. I got one of those like little patch kit things, and it looked like there was a big screw, but it turned out to not be a big screw, and then they have this reamer thing, and you have to like shove it into the tire. So fun. Okay, so important. We don't want to change the orientation of this. So don't go flipping this around and then like you'll go to install it and you'll be like, wait, which way does it go? So I just pulled it straight off, goes here, and then when we pick it up, it's just gonna go straight in. Same way. Now, interior, we should cover up a little bit because it's gonna rain on us a little bit. Can you give us some tips on this? Ooh, two good questions. Okay, so the guy I brought my car from, he got a top tier tint job, but the back window is bubbling. That doesn't sound very top tier then, does it? No idea if it would be ceramic or not, but you have to, like, if it feels like it blocks out a lot of heat. 3M, there's companies that like 3M. I think they're a little bit overrated, but hey, it's me. Were you shrinking the wrong sides or just side? No, look at the way it was oriented. It was positioned. And then I suppose we could get one of these. What was the other one? Can you give some tips on what to do or not to do when buying a spray tank? I'm gonna make it give you the real easy solution right here. Is check out. Here, we haven't gone here in a minute. 1 second. Go here. Da, 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 da. Oh, how do we do this again? Desktop. Ba-pow! Ba-pow-pow. Go to sundistributingdirect.com. Go to Shop Now, Tint Kegs and Parts. This is where I get all my Tint Keg stuff from. They actually are not too far away from here. So ta-da! Look at that. They got all the setups here. So you can get a tint keg only. They have hose setups. They have all the parts that you could possibly want. I would highly recommend going here. Let's throw that link in the chat. And then the nice thing is if you have any questions, you can chat with them and call them. And I know they got like some chat thing here. I don't know where it is. Should be somewhere on the website. Maybe it's not. Anyways, but yeah, kegs are right in the beginning. So go check out Tint Kegs. That's where this keg came from. So there's less expensive tint kegs, but what you lose out on are upgraded parts. So there's things that they do, like upgrade hoses, upgrade fittings, basically like that whole shebang. They take out some of the stuff that comes with a keg, and then they up all the things. So little thing to note is like the O-rings. This is something that I watched their live stream and I didn't realize this. They come from the brewing industry. So you can buy a brewing keg, but brewing beer is only at 10 to 15 psi, but we're pumping in 60 to 100 psi depending on what you want to do for your kegs. So they do things like up the O-rings for better pressure, because if you load up 80 to 90 psi and then you take a quick disconnect and you put it on there, you're going to blow off the O-ring. Would knifeless tape work? Not, unfortunately, no. Not in the same way that I wish it would work. So oh God, I was hoping that would stay. So the thing about knifeless tape is that you need this, if you're cutting out vinyl, because that's what it's for, the vinyl kind of sticks. The vinyl sticks to the car, and then you rip the knifeless tape through it. With tint, it's not sticking yet. So when you go to pull it, it's just going to pull through, like, off the film. That's all it's going to do. Only a tinner can appreciate your shirt. I'm glad you noticed. This is why I was raising it, because I saw some adhesive on the front one, and I wanted to make sure I got all of it on the back one too. Yeah, it's funny too though, because I put on this shirt, I'm like, I should have had a Detroit Tint Studio shirt today, because this is far from dark but legal. This is as light as we go. This is 70. This makes no sense here. The stream we did yesterday made more sense. Kind of. 35. But it looked dark. If I ever saw a job that was like, looked dark but legal, it was that. I like that I got this nice clean white ceiling here though. That makes looking at this awesome. versus before when I was looking at dirty ceilings. That's so much easier. What's the average time frame to tint a Cezanne? I always say shoot for under 2 hours, but I mean, don't beat yourself up on time in the beginning. You're going to be way past that in the beginning. Just down the road, always try and aim towards like 2 hour mark, depending on what type of pricing you're bringing in, I guess. It's like most average tint shops, like you're gonna need to do 2 or 3 cars in a day, like to have a comfortable business. So depending on where your pricing's at, that'll help a lot. But if your overhead's low, you could spend all day on a car if you want. I want to get it to about 2, but I'm about 3 to 4. Outside, outside's gonna definitely make things take longer. And there's other things too to keep in mind. So if you're like running around from one place to the next, there's like setup time. So I save on setup time because everything's here. Alrighty, let's peel this guy. Let's lay it in. How hard's your squeegee? Does it grab the film? So the hybrids are really, really smooth. So Fusion makes amazing squeegees. That's like, that is their business. They make window tinting squeegees and tools. So the one that I'm using right now is the hybrid. Across the board though, they're all like slide pretty well on the glass. So look up the hybrid blade if you want to know exactly what I'm using, but like they'll state the durometer and what they're made out of, but for the most part, all you need is a Fusion blade and you'll be good. Fusion or Blue Max, they'll all be good. There we go. Kind of surprised you didn't reverse roll. We'll do that for the windshield. On something like the sunroof, that did get a little messy, but wasn't too bad. Treat it more like a back window than anything. It's a big old quarter window, so if this was much bigger, then we would have done something different. Will air bubbles dry out in a few days? Air bubbles, no, they never go away. Water dries out. Air is always there. Air is always there. Unfortunately. So, a lot of time, when you go to tint something, it might look better on the first day because everything's full of water. And then some people would be like, it didn't look like that on the first day. And then all of a sudden, I got all these spots. I don't know what happened. Those spots were always there. They were just dirt specks full of water. So once all that dries out, you got a shit looking job. Unfortunately, welcome to window tinting because that's all our pain and struggle. That's why it's so tough. You gotta get it to fit. And then you gotta make sure it's clean. Cool. This one went pretty well. We just gotta do it with the other one, and then we'll do the windshield, and then we'll be good. We'll be good. Not a ton of work on this one today. But man, that was so cool. It was so cool to like, it hasn't happened to me in a minute here, but when people are curious about ceramic and like they're in it for heat rejection, and then you feel the difference, like there's only so much I can explain about it, but when you put it on your vehicle and you drive around with it, you want more heat rejection at that point. All of a sudden, everything else is irritating. Look at that. He even gets a floor mat cleaning. Have you heat lamp tested that 70? Yeah, absolutely. That's how I sell it. Sometimes. I have 20s on all the things, but yeah, absolutely. One of the number one things you can do. What kind of numbers? Well, I do it with the BTU meter. So there's the TSCR and spec sheet that they have on their website with all the official numbers. And then in terms of infrared, when it's just compared to all the other ones, you're talking 75 to 80% infrared. So it's good stuff. All right, now we can pop this guy back. We're gonna do the same thing with this one. Cut it out, shrink it, and cover all the things too, or as much as we can, because we're gonna have some drip edge really straight down from here. Is that as far back as it goes? That's as far back as it goes. I guess that makes sense. All right, where's my 70? It's not. There it is. Wow, the chat just got real busy. Holy shit. When do you shrink and when do you not shrink? Like you said in the chat, I shrink pretty much everything a little bit. There's some times that I don't shrink. Oh man, this is a heavy roll. Okay, I'm in a bit of a pickle here. There we go. Oh, it's heavy. It's so heavy. I haven't done a sunroof like this in a quick minute. Film is pinching. Wow. What do you do in a situation like this? So, there we go. Let's pull a little farther. Let's cut it from here. Now I gotta pick it up and try and cut it. That's not gonna go well. Come on. Just give me a little bit. There we go. Ah. Good Lord. I should have just cut off a piece and put it up there. It's an awkward place to be in. How much soap in a 25-gallon tint keg? I think you mean a 2.5? 25. Dang. You flexing. Where's the green squeegee? We have it. Yeah, you're right. I haven't used it here on a few vehicles because I got a whole bunch of new toys. So I've just kind of been playing around with the new toys too. It's not that I don't like it. It's fantastic. There's just lots of options now. So we're playing around with some things that we don't normally use because I get questions about all the things. Where's the Rolex at? Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Is 45 degrees common? I've seen some, or 45% common. I've seen some shops offering it in ceramic. Yeah, it's not uncommon. Usually what you'd see more, I think, is like 50 and then 40. But yeah, I mean, it's not weird for a shop to have 45 at all. Film companies will carry different stuff. Is it true that sunroofs crack when tinting? I've heard the same rumors from some people. I've never had it be an issue here. So I have it on my own. I've done many others. I don't do a ton of sunroofs, but yeah, I haven't had it be an issue. So, I don't know. You can always leave that disclaimer there. You can say, hey, I'll tint it for sure, and you should be fine, but maybe? Oh, we should. We're gonna fall. Yeah, they're gonna look similar. There's only a 5% difference there. It's like 15 and 20. When you get into numbers with film, it becomes like those close differences between films, it's negligible. You're just talking numbers. I had a BMW X4 in here yesterday. I asked chat what they thought the back windows were out of the factory. Almost everybody said 20. I metered it, it was 37. So lighting conditions, vehicle angles, all that play factors into what a film looks like. So 45 or 50 or whatever, it's like they're so close in the same ballpark, it doesn't matter. Just found your channel. Binged a ton of videos. Thank you. I'm in the Facebook group too. What's the white tape that you use to cut against? It's called Glass Aid. It's currently out of stock. will be back in stock eventually. But that's what it is. Yeah, it gets way confusing. So, limited selection to a point. You want enough options so everybody gets what they're looking for, but you don't want to overwhelm them with like every shade of the spectrum. And manufacturers don't really make it that way either, so. Yep, that's as far as it goes back. That's okay. Dang, I guess we're gonna have to install this. All right. Huh. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this guy right here. This big old, hard to see everything on camera towel. This is the dash protector 2. We've used it on stream once before already. I've done it on a couple of vehicles. I've used it on like a Durango and then something else. I don't remember exactly what it was. One of the streams, Chad will remind me. Anyways, this is a super cool product, and I want to point out a couple things on it first, though. So what's cool about it is that this is basically a big old dash towel with its own rope sewn into it. So it's really easy to get into place. So you're just gonna basically shove it into the end. It's all sewn in, it hangs up. It's got these handy little flaps for covering the sides like that. So you choose the proper side. That was the first thing I want to really bring up, is there's 2 sides to this. One is a little bit wider than the other. So that gives you 2 different types of vehicles. So, you know, when you come in with sedan or you have a big old truck like this, you're gonna wanna use like the bigger side with this one. I still like using a thinner rope, even with a truck like this. So that's one little nitpicky gripe there. But I can definitely see why they did it this way. The unfortunate part about this is the quality of it. I think they use a good towel. This material is pretty good too. The rope is where this thing, the rope and the stitching is kind of where this thing starts to fall apart a little bit. So it's still usable, but I showed this to my wife too. And one, they should be folding this edge over here and sewing it all together, because this is going to do a lot of fraying here. And it would keep some of these little stringy bits out of the way if you kind of folded it over and sewn it all together. And 2, it seems like their sewing has either damaged the rope and ripped it up. I don't know, because you have all these little stick out points, but what's bad about them is they do this. They just start shedding little microfiber. So all over the towel, you start getting little microfiber bits. That's not great when you're putting it in super close contact with the end. It seems to be pretty minimal, but it's still, I think they're selling it for like $130, something like that. So I would hope that the quality would be a little bit better. You would want to buy a couple of these, because when you use one of them, it gets wet, and then you need to kind of hang it up to dry, unless you want to throw it into a dryer, which again brings up the concern of it starting to kind of fall apart here. So I don't know. I really like the idea of this. I think it's fantastic. It just, if you guys ever see me put in a soak rope, soak shield, anything, and then try and match up a towel to it, you guys know that the towel starts falling away it gets annoying. But at the end of the day, I do want it to also hold together. So the time that it saves me, I'm like immensely grateful for. Because it's basically like I'm going to take a little push stick and finish installing it. But it's like it's all there. So as I'm scrubbing down this windshield and stuff, like look, it's holding in there. It's snug. It's good to go. A towel, I start lightly brushing it with like the back side of a scrub pad or something, and it's just bunching up all over the place and driving me crazy. It also, when it's in place, has a much slimmer profile because this is really thin, and then it's sewn into the rope. So it's all just like seamless down. Like, look at that. It'll give me more space to play around with, and that little bit of space is super important when you're trying to reverse roll a windshield. So, yeah, it's a great idea, and this is version 2, so they added these little wings here, which, dude, I mean, come on, this is great. I put this here because I'm going to be tinting the sunroof right now, and then we're going to be doing the full windshield after the fact. But look at how much is all covered with this. This is amazing. So if they can fix their quality issues here, I mean, it's a knockout product. I'm still going to try and use it some and then see how fast this rope wears out, but that's got me pretty concerned about how long it's going to last. So being that it's a little bit more pricey for like a dash towel solution, you definitely want it to hold up. Like, you can buy a soak shield for like $20-ish. You can get the really nice towels, and I'm still using the original soak shield stuff. So absolutely love soak shield, still do, but hopefully maybe they'll come out with like a rounded version or something that'll do something similar to this. But great idea here. Look at that. Look, I still got room. We just tucked this in. So I just wanted to kind of revisit, you know, we used this once on stream, flung it through the dryer in the wash, because that's what everybody's going to do with one of these things. Like, you're going to have to wash it eventually. And when you do that, it's really going to start to show some wear. So maybe there's a different way to wash it or something that's going to at least help. But there were some areas of the stitching too that were just kind of like loose and like not sewn into the rope. So there was that as well. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. It's got its pros, it's got its cons. Overall, fantastic idea. Hopefully you guys can give me some feedback on it too. Neat. But yeah, I wanted to put that in there. We're gonna kind of post that as its own video because I think it deserves that much. Please link the towel shield. All right, let me slam that in there for you. I think it's dashprotector.com. That's what it should be. Let's test this. Canon. I don't want to go to any websites that it's not. Okay, cool. It is. GoPro. There you go. Have a sewing shop, sew in a better soak rope. I wonder if it's like a decent quality rope here, but the stitching is what made it go apart, because you can see all of this is still good. And then when you get into the stitch bits, that's where it all kind of starts falling apart. So maybe there's just some problems there. That's what it looks like. But I'm no seamstress. That shirt, where did you get it? Thank you. I got it from my graphic designer. Iron Duck Designs. She does so much stuff for the tint industry. So, tintlife.com. Here, I'll drop a link. There you go. Tintlife.com. Oh, actually, I can show you guys. Can I show you guys really quick? We got time. What was that? I have access to an alteration shop. Do you want a custom one? I mean, I wouldn't complain if you sent me one. I want them to make it better. Okay, so this is Tint Life. This is Iron Duck Designs little like side project here. She does a lot of fun artwork, and most of it's for like window tint companies. So she made these really cool like shirt designs and stuff. So she makes these cool like logo looking things. So like she's got the little chiseler. They got also crazy stuff like the face gaiters and whatnot. So this is that shirt that you saw, the dark but legal, and then she gets it printed on like all types of stuff. So yeah, really really cool store. Give her a little shout out there. And then we need the chat. Let's pull that back up here. I know of Carrie. She does amazing work. I'll check her out for sure. Yep, she does. That's where I got this dope design. They like to clothe me too, a little bit. They see me just wearing whatever shirts, and they're like, man, he needs to not do that. Like, he should wear his own branding or something. It's funny how that works. I'm kind of happy. We got a little bit more time to do this whole thing. He's not picking up till a little bit later, so wow, I'm just like raining stuff down here. So we got lots of time to mess around with the sunroof. And then I forget things like my rag. Where did I put that? Come on. So to save myself from like a little bit of water here, we can do that. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna take it, we're gonna put it on that glass board, we're gonna peel it, we're gonna slap it in here. We'll contact you soon about the custom dashboard protector. Dang! Okay. That's super cool. Here we go. Last one right there. Should be good. Looks like we got enough room to work around here too. Some of these, they like to have really close tolerances. So up in here, especially, sometimes it'll just be like a razor thin rubber edge. Sorry if the camera has a little bit of water on it. I guess the nice thing is it was made to handle that much. Maybe not the rest of my setup, but the camera should be okay. I'm gonna pop that guy there. And we're all ready to install. So we can just go ahead and peel it. Please don't fall. Especially the big old 70 roll. Alright, let's maneuver this guy. Because we're not exactly centered there. There we go. Hope you remember what side is what. You and me both. Yeah, when you get to this point, if it doesn't line up, it's going to be a little tough to keep that clean and get it how you need to. Looks like we're sitting pretty here, though. Nice. That worked out well. Why not reverse roll? I just never really felt the need to reverse roll a sunroof, but we might get there one day. Got some water in my eye. Yeah, it's gonna happen a little bit. But it's no tears. Well, maybe the Dawn is. The baby shampoo part of it. That's no tears. There we go. Sweet. All right, let me give you guys a little scrubbing here. Cannon. Yeah, just a little bit. Why do you make it look easy? I wouldn't say the cutting portion of that looks super easy. I mean, we're a little bit farther along here. How are we doing on this battery? Okay, we're doing okay still. I forgot to charge the battery, but we didn't have a super long stream yesterday. So it looks like we're still okay. We got 2 bars. Should be able to do a windshield in that. And then clean off the camera. Alrighty, so does the tint look as green in person as it does on camera? Tint's kind of funny. I mean, there's definitely a little color, but tint's kind of funny with the way that the lighting works. Cause like, look at this. So this is a white vehicle here, and you can see with the lighting, like you're gonna have a slight tinge here, and then depending on where it's sitting, it's gonna kind of like change a little bit. It's gonna look a little bit more clear, a little bit more neutral, and then it's just the way that the light can hit it sometimes. So when it's on the vehicle and you're sitting in it looking out at everything outdoors, all those colors are like way less exaggerated. Even on bluish films and stuff. But the darker you go, you know, sometimes you just like, there's a lot of coloring there, so. Yeah, it'll be, when it's outside, it's not gonna hardly be noticeable. Did you know your windshields are green? Looks yellow. A little bit. It's got a little tinge to it. All right, so let's line this up. Should we do that heat gun comparison? We should probably do that heat gun comparison. I think this is a great windshield to do that on. And it's ceramic. So the comparison that we did yesterday is 70% even worth it? That's a great question. I love that question. Is 70% even worth it? All right, so this gives me the opportunity to give a little story for you guys at why we're even doing 70% on the windshield and the sunroof in the first place. He's got factory 20% on the sunroof, and then he was in here. This car was in here a couple of days ago. We did the front two doors I think it's in 35, but we did the front two doors in ceramic, and he was very happy with the work. And then I mentioned before I left, I'm like, you're gonna feel a difference between the front doors and the windshield. So you might be back here sooner or later to get that done. And then sure enough, like literally later that day, on his way home, he's like, I should have got the windshield done. And now he's getting the sunroof and the windshield done together. So is 70% worth it? Yes, in ceramic. And that's the difference here. So when you're talking about heat rejection, it's something that you feel, and it's not about looks. Not completely about looks at that point. You can still get it in whatever shade that you want, for the most part. But on 70%, the idea here is I like heat rejection, but I don't want to darken up my vision. Or, you know, legality. You want to stay a little safer. It's like you want a more comfortable driving experience. That's why you get 70. So absolutely is. It's expensive, but I think it's well worth it. So that's going to be your own personal choice there. But I mean, thank you for asking that at that point, because man, to see somebody get their car done, just the front doors, and then all of a sudden it sold themselves. Like they were already out of here. I wasn't trying to hard sell them on anything, and then they're like coming back here just for the windshield and the sunroof. That's super cool to me. Ooh, we should set this one up. So we're getting this prepped here. How much time do I have? Plenty. We got plenty of time to do this. What am I talking about? So this is going to be a little bit more of a longer stream because there's so many things that I've gotten recently that make great video opportunities. So we can put that guy here, and then this guy. Okay. So, like the other video, let's let me get this thing prepped just a little bit more. There's going to be a little bit more to this video. So I have got one in the background. You guys saw if you were watching the live stream yesterday. I did a heat gun comparison between the Wagner and this red Craftsman, formerly known as Porter cable. This guy here, 50 versus 20. And this is just like, look at this little beat up Wagner. This guy kicked his butt. But now we're going to compare it to this guy. All right. So we're going to do another heat gun shrinking comparison here. We're going to take this $20 beat up Wagner. I've been using this for quite a while now. It kicked that little Craftsman's butt over there in another comparison, so I'll have a link in the description if you guys want to see that video. Shrink half a windshield in 1 minute and 40 seconds, and that one was like 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So definitely recommend this one, even though it feels a little bit like a toy. But Fusion, I like Fusion. I like Fusion very much. This drawer will show you how much I like Fusion. I like them very much. They make squeegees and tinting tools. So they have this heat gun here called the Fusion Max Flux. And it is around $180, $190. How do we even open this thing? Ooh, look at that. A little advertising there for them. So this heat gun has been recommended to me a bunch of times. And I've just, oh wow, they have it pre-wrapped. Dang, I didn't think they were going to pre-wrap it. I thought I was going to have to do that here. Well, that's cool. So this is definitely an unusual heat gun. It looks like it comes with some extra things on the inside. So probably, I'm assuming, well, we need a surface to put that down. Probably extra tape. So this is their afterburn tape. So we'll talk about that a little bit. It's got a little card here. Please note, heat tool may emit vapor. That's true because they do emit vapor. And then they got the little standee for it because it looks an awful lot like a soldering heat gun. So we're going to toss that aside because this is all that really matters. Ooh. Beefy cable too. So let's untwist this and check this guy out. So what is this all about? What's up with the orange tape? I've seen orange tape on other heat guns. What is that about? Well, a couple things. One thing. It's made, so this is wrapped around a metal end. So the metal end, most heat guns have a shroud that kind of protect you from getting burned, you know, because this part gets real hot. And then you've seen some heat tape maybe on some other heat guns before. So it's basically this completely exposed. So they got this heat tape, they wrapped it around the entire thing. And then you have this is kind of your temperature control here. So this is really like more for airflow and stuff. So you can do all the way, it's got two settings here. So I'm assuming one of them's going to be like low and then high, and then this is probably just your airflow. So all the way open, close to kind of like slow this down a little bit, and then this is probably your heat here. I don't know for sure, but this thing gets hot. This thing gets real hot. They all get hot. But the question is, ooh, it's just the first one. First one sounds like it kicks it up more. Second one sounds like it's lower. That's good to know before we do a direct comparison between the two. So we're going to put these through their paces here. We're going to put a stopwatch, and we're going to try both of these against each other. Wagner's going to go on the same side it did before. We're going to start with that one first, and then we're going to try the Fusion Max Flux on the other side. So let's put this guy over here. Put this one over here. Let's find my stopwatch. Oh, it's right there. Canon. All right, let me pull up my stopwatch here. Clock. Stopwatch. All right. So we're going to do this the same janky way we did it before. It's very simple. We hit start, and then we pick it up, and we go over there. So the better heat gun is over on the other side, so it's going to take a few more seconds to run over there, but, you know, it should be better, right? Start. My goal is to not shrink as fast as I can. My goal is to kind of go through my regular pace here and just kind of get a good gauge. Is this naturally going to speed me up, or is it going to be a big pain? You guys have seen me shrink plenty of windshields before. We're doing 70% ceramic, so that's also a little monkey wrench in the thing. It's just ceramic. This ceramic shrinks well, but ceramics usually shrink a little bit slower. So keep that in mind when you're watching this. So the first time that we used this on the X4 windshield, 1 minute and 40 seconds. So we should fall within that range still. I'm actually curious to see if it's going to be longer or exactly the same. And we're going to be fair. We're going to go right to the edge. A little bit more shrinking on the bottom than the top. Let's go. Yeah, definitely not setting land speed records here. But, like, you don't need it to. It's like if I were to spend the extra money on it, $20 versus like $190. Sure, there's going to be some diminishing returns there, but done. Stop. 2:04, couple seconds short, because fumbled. But hey, look at that. So we're oh no, we're a little slower actually because we were 140. Sorry, the other one was 220. So we're about 20 seconds slower on this windshield than we were on the other one. That's good to know. Okay, so what we're gonna do? Screenshot that so I remember. So 2:04, and we got a phone call. Of course we do. Hang on one second. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you?
I was wondering how much you guys would charge to tint the 2006 Ford 500.
2006 500. That would start at 240 for all the sides and the back. Are you interested in doing the windshield too?
No.
No, just the sides and the back? Yeah, it would be 240 out the door.
240 out the door?
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't matter what percentage I get?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
And so if I wanted 5%?
Yeah, so the price varies depending on the type of film, but that's any shade that I have available in that. So I do have 5% available in my entry level.
Alrighty, I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Phone calls. How was the call quality? Bad because we didn't make a sale. Okay. Sounds like the guy from... You guys think it's just the same guy calling and saying the exact same, like just asking about different cars. Come on. All right, so we're going to reset this. We're going to run over to the other side. Time is about 2:04 from start to finish here. So start. Let's hustle over there. Oh, man, I'm walking so fast to catch up. Woo! This thing's got some, like, oomph to it. Okay, we turned it up to the top because it just felt like it was doing air. I don't have this thing dialed in at all, either. So I've never used this very much at all, so I don't want to give this like... That's cooler. This is high. Okay, so turn that up all the way. Go. Oh my god, what the heck? I don't feel like this is any better. It's blowing like a... What's throwing me off is it's blowing like a ton of air. So you can get... It looks like you can get real close to it. That's unusual. So, I should have played around with this before we went head to head with it, because there's a few things that hung me up with it, but I'm not super digging it. It gets hot. It gets really hot, but like, it's blowing a ton of air. So like, you can get super close to it. It doesn't feel like it's really going to burn the film in a way that a regular heat gun might. waft, this thing is a cannon. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I think we're gonna have to come back to using this. I'm curious to see where we're at on the time, though. There's heat, it gets hot. There's just so much air to back it up, though. Alright. Looks like a little bit at the very edge there. Where are we at? Let's run on over there. See what we did. 330. Oof. Oof. Dang. That was sad. Huh. Wow, that is they weren't kidding about all the stuff that's coming off of it at the end. So I'm no stranger to seeing like all the you see the vapor coming off of that. That's super normal for heat guns. So that always happens. There's just always an oil that's on them or something that burns off. I just felt like the first... Yeah, this isn't as hot. The first setting isn't as hot, because I can keep my hand here. The second setting, that starts getting hot, so it should be on the second. And then this is your airflow. So this is the metal part, so you can do this. This is a little warm, but it definitely is not burning hot. Without it, it would be crazy. Huh. We're going to have to play around with this, I think, a little bit more here. So we're at 330. I don't, right now, no, it's definitely not worth it. It's too funky to me. I'm still sticking with the $20 Wagner, man. I want to play around with it because I have been told it's one hell of a heat gun. From like a pretty reputable person, but maybe I'm just so used to the Wagner, but yeah, it blows a ton of air. It does get hot, but you gotta put it like stupid close to it. So give me a little bit with it. That was a fun comparison there. Right out of the box, a Wagner versus that. I was kind of leaning towards like assuming that the much more expensive one would have blown the Wagner out of the water with like heat output or feel or something. But so far, not yet. I probably, see, the thing is, I probably could have saved some time if I already knew what I was doing going into it. That would have shaved off some seconds, but, I mean, ooh, we were well behind the fiddle time. I mean, I want to see that thing basically chomping through film to where it's going to save me, like, a full-on minute, I think. Where it's just like... So we'll mess around with it a little bit more here in the future. For now, I'll sneak to my stab on. Yeah, I don't think you should rush out and go get this one yet. I would like to do a comparison between me with a Wagner and somebody that knows what they're doing with that gun. That would actually be more interesting to me. Kind of like me using the Wagner or whatever regular heat gun, and then somebody using a torch. You know, because if I'm going to do a torch comparison, it's not necessarily fair because I don't have a lot of practice with it. So that kind of is what that gave me the impression of. But if you're just like, you're used to the heat guns that you're used to, and then you're like, I've seen that fusion heat gun. I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and get it. I don't think you'd be happy with that. Not right out of the box. Is Tint Depot film any good? Yeah, Tint Depot sources their film from good places. So you're gonna give away the Craftsman? No, go buy a Wagner, it's better. Yeah, I gotta get like dumb close with this. I'm gonna just turn this air all the way down. All the way hot, airflow down to a minimum. And then they suggest holding it like this instead. Like not like a heat gun, holding it kind of like this and putting it over your shoulder. And that'll make it a little bit more comfortable. I don't know, dudes. I don't know. I mean, I'm just letting this thing run and using it for edge touch-ups right now. So I'm giving this all, like, when you want to heat, if there's ever an area you want a heat gun to just get really hot, it's the edges when you're touching them up. So this thing should just, like, cook my edges here real fast. I feel like I'm uncomfortably close with this. That's still, that didn't inspire a lot of confidence there. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the extra Wagner, or with the Craftsman. I kinda wanna keep it as like a spare heat gun, but or hang it up on the wall. Because some of those things I actually kind of want to keep around for when somebody goes, have you tried this one? And I'll be like, yeah, I have. Look, it's right here. Maybe you got a bad one? Maybe we need to talk to somebody that uses it. It's possible we got a bad one, but I don't know. It gets plenty hot. Like if you put your hand in front of a, oh, I do like that. Look at that. It's all propped up, ready for me to pick it up. It's like, then it just like flies to your hand. That's just like, it's dead. I don't know. It didn't seem like it. It's one of those products I need to call and ask about. You know what? I do have an idea. We could, in another stream when we have a back window, we could make a phone call with somebody that's used it regularly. So what we could do is call that person next time we have a back window and then ask about using it. Because I don't want to say it's junk, because it's not, but it's just different. Oh, come on. Yeah. Wanna give them their sticker back. Oh yeah, we gotta take this mirror out, don't we? Yes, we do. So that will unplug, and now the Ford mirrors, most of them are torque screws. I guess they finally had it. They broke enough with their own windshields, and it was enough of a problem. So a little torque screwdriver here. I don't think this cap has to come off though. Really? Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. Thank you. They give me enough room. So that's all still covered, and then this thing we can just kind of like pop out of the way. Thank you, Ford. You did good. You did good. And then while we're at it, let's grab, we're gonna need this guy. We can grab this guy. And then that should be all the back window tools that we need. I don't know why I gave them all their own drawer. Let's take the tool belt, set it over there, because that just gets in the way. When are you gonna try the sander? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. Soon. Probably soon. There'll be a day here that just kind of opens up. That'll make sense. What do you add for an F-150 that has old tint that is bubbling? Oh, like on a removal charge? It pretty much just doubles the price of the whole job. Removals take time. So like a truck like that would be like $250 starting for like everything, and then just $250 for the removal. Actually, with a truck it might be able to be $2, but if it's a full windshield, then more than that. This shit just takes forever. Especially right now. Like, that's the main reason removals are more expensive, is because everybody's bringing me the removals in summertime when everybody else wants their regular cars tinted. Bring me removals in the wintertime. When I have some breathing space and I can spend a good day, then it's not frustrating. Then it's kind of like I'm not putting off other work for it, and I hate for it to be that way, but it's just everybody asks about removals in the summertime. But we'll still do them. We've done a handful. I bet you there's somebody cheaper than me, though, in the area. Have them do the removal, and then I'll do the tint. Just make sure they do a good job. Cool. How do we... I think we can just scooch that guy right there. Yeah. I don't like that. There we go. I feel better about that one. Gonna give this one more squeegee. Make sure that rope is all tucked in. Right here especially. Yeah, look at that. I opened all that up. Make sure those little fuzzies are out of my way. I like that. Big old windshield. Yeah. Do you carry any tools here? Yeah, I sell basic tint tools. But not in person. I have a site. And then along with my own squeegee and the Glass Aid products. Cool. So we need this. I've been looking for another one of these. In store, haven't been able to find one. They're always out of stock. Some other tinters are buying them. They were on sale too. I was like, dang it. Probably just need to make a 2-second Google search. Put that right there. Eat, eat, eat. Should be good. Here's my end. Alright, let's layer it down once. Then if I can, do this guy right here. Try and make it smooth. Oh yeah, that's on that side. Cool, that was trippy. Ta-da! 0 bubbles. There's a few there. Have you tried titanium tint? No. Sounds like a brand. Titanium. All right. Side peeled. Spray. Tuck away. Nice. I like trying to make it look or smooth out that as much as I can. So it's not all like big old bunched up sections or anything. Because you're gonna try and roll it up real smooth. So you don't want it to walk away too much from you. What kind of watch do you have? I got the Galaxy one with the turn dial. I try not to... I don't like a big watch. It was one of the smaller ones. I like the little turn dial, too. It's helpful. Mostly for, like, changing songs. But it recently became more helpful for taking phone calls while I'm on stream. Because my headphones don't switch back and forth anymore. And now you guys can hear them. Tint Wiz has the same squeegee. They do. It's actually just the Detroit Tint Studio edition of like a pretty recent popular squeegee that made its way to the market. I just had my own version made. Just like they had their own version made. Collect collect them all. What kind of phone? I have the Note 20 Ultra. I think it's probably the best Android phone that was made in the past 6 months to a year. Oh, I guess we're past that. More like 10 months to a year at this point. I didn't like phones with big screens either, but now I've got phones with big screen. It's not very pocketable though. Oh, we're a little far over to the left. The thing about 70 is like, it's tough to see that S21s are out. Yeah, the Note series is different too though. So the 20 Ultra, like, it's a hell of a phone, don't get me wrong. I just like the shape of the Note a little bit better. It's less tall, a little wider. Been thinking about switching. They all kind of do the same thing. So, like, if you rock an iPhone, iPhones are great. They do fantastic things. They started doing a few more things after I got my S8. Because they switched from, like, the iPhone 7 to an S8. Because it was like, come on, Apple, are you ever going to make, like, a screen or a phone with more screen on it? And then they finally started to. But it had a few more things at the time. Like, Wi-Fi sharing is something that, like, iPhones are so weirdly locked down that they drive me crazy on a few things. So I edit videos on an iPad right now. And it's great. But if you want to, like, try and figure out... Oh, okay, so, like, for example, my footage for a video is typically right on YouTube. So I was on vacation, and I didn't have a way to just download my footage and throw it onto the iPad from my PC. So I'm like, okay, I need to just download the YouTube video on my iPad. You know how incredibly frustrating and impossible it is to do that? I still haven't figured out a way. I had to remote into my home PC, download it, and then send it over OneDrive to my tablet. So it's like there's just stupid, annoying things that drive me crazy about how locked down some of the things are. But if you just need to use it as a like phone with like apps and you just play inside of the apps and like they're great. Why you still can't rearrange your icons on the home screen to like any position you want, I have no idea, but Maybe someday. Post heating? No. No, it's not necessary. Just let it dry. Switch to Apple. For what though? They both kind of like do similar things, so unless there's like a specific app or something that you're looking for, like they're so similar now, just different in their own right. I like that the Note has less of a forehead. You know, I have the first gen watch, and I was sad that I can't pair it to an Android phone. But I at least could use this watch a little longer if I got an iPhone. Okay, so now that's all set, so let's pull this. Easy peasy. Yeah. So now the end that we used is damp. So the other little gripe about, it's not a gripe, it's just like, of course it's gonna get wet, it's gonna soak up all that water, and it's gonna stay wet. So with a soak shield, you can just kind of like take it and you can wring it out, and you can do the same thing with this, but I'm not gonna leave a soppy towel sitting on a dashboard. I'm not. So if you're gonna use this, you're gonna need a couple of these, because you really just gotta kind of like hang them up somewhere to dry or throw it in a dryer. But if you got like back-to-back windshields, you're only gonna be able to use it for one. You're not even gonna wanna flip it around and let the soppy side dangle all over everything else. So soak shields, you can buy the towels, and you can buy multiple ropes, but the ropes are very easy to wring out and use on the next car. So it's like they both have their little points. I think the dash protector too is a fantastic idea. It just needs to be refined a little bit more. And then I'd probably pick up two of them and just have two of them laying around. One to go in the dryer after it's used, and one that's primary, and then, you know, just swap them throughout the day. All right, so let's scrub this off. Let's check it out. And then I think we're pretty much at the end here. I hope. It's got a little blue here. Looks like they drew on his windshield when it was in the lot. Do they ever leave cameras recording in the car? Not really, no. If they have a dash cam, I mean, I don't think they go to unplug it. But I've never seen anybody like leave just a camera sitting in the middle of a car or anything. If anything, though, I mean, we record everything. It's always to your benefit to have it all documented. Because if you do good work, and then you know, somebody like might blame you for a potential scratch on a vehicle or something like that. It's always good to have all your bases covered with cameras. So when we stream here, we're just kind of live streaming. But we actually should get a couple and just have them on passive around the car. Something I haven't even thought about. in a minute here. But everywhere I've worked at has done that, because inevitably you'll return a vehicle, and then they'll be like, that scratch wasn't there. And then it's he versus, or your word versus their word.
Jose 78 Rios super
Jose.
chatted $4.99. Ladry put all my trust in you. Thank you for being the protector of all those who tint windows and their defender at all times.
Waiting
You
for
did
it to
again. Clapping hands. Thumbs
Finish
up.
here. Jose with a 5, thank you. Thank you for being the protector of all who tint windows and the defender at the times you did it again. Thank you so much for the 5. I really appreciate that. Are these Kirkland towels? They are. They're one of the better ones that you can kind of just like, I don't know. The towels, they're good enough, and you can just buy a big pack of them. Ooh. Are you familiar with the C4 Corvette? So that's the older one with hydraulic arms. Yes, I've done quite a few of those. Yeah, so you're gonna remove the arms, and then there's 4 bolts that you're gonna want to remove on that. 2 on the arms, so like 1 on each side. And the bottom also has that metal latch plate. Take out those bolts, and that thing will pop out, so you got lots of space. Yeah, after you're done, thoroughly dry that whole thing and cut the holes out, and then you can pop the hardware back in. Once the hardware's back in, what I would suggest doing too is cutting a relief cut exactly around the hardware that goes back on to that spot. So sometimes they're fine, but over time, I don't think I've had this happen firsthand, but I can see it happening. So that hardware is still kind of settling in. So what might happen is like you clamp it back together on the glass. It's tinted. It's nice and like seamless because you put the hardware over it. But then that hardware can start to shift back and forth maybe a little bit. Little road vibrations and opening and closing the hatch. It might shift, and it might cause that tint to spin. So it just might yoink it and just create a spiral. So what I would do is once you heat it all up, dry it out, clamp it, then cut a relief cut just exactly on it after it's all bolted up. So you're not really going to see a cut or anything, but you're going to have the peace of mind. It's a little tricky to do, but you're going to have the peace of mind that that tint's going to be completely fine, and it looks great. We're going to want to leave that sticker there or there. I do not miss doing those. Yeah, I've seen that happen before. Yeah, that would definitely do it. What, glass cleaner? This is just Sprayway. I love these tops that they add now. They sell them like this. So, like no safety or anything. Just pick it up off the shelf and so convenient now. No more caps to lose. And they fit in my little holders there. Whatever glass cleaner you use, just make sure it's ammonia free. Where'd you get the green exterior squeegee? I think I found it at a Meijer. In the cleaning section. I picked it up and I thought, huh, this might be helpful. Turned out it was very, very helpful. And I haven't been able to find one since, so I'm gonna have to keep. I'm gonna have to do a little search. It's a Libman, like the cleaning company Libman. Like they've got all types of like brooms and stuff. Probably seen them before. Just like a flattish squeegee, but it just contours a little bit, and it's got these little side supports that help like squeegee everything out. There's been a couple that just go straight across, and there's no bracing here, and that seems to like make them really suck. Menards has those squeegees. Thank you. I'm gonna have to go check a Menards. You're right, they do have all the Libman stuff too. I forget that. Well, dang, son. This is a very pretty windshield. Oh yeah, we gotta make sure all this up here is clean too. So let's do that. Swipe out versus side swipe versus tighten. What's the swipe out? So I've got the tighten, that's this guy right here. I've got the shortcut, and I've got the stroke doctor and the side swipe. What's the swipe out? Please tell me. We could definitely do a comparison between all of those. Shortcut? Oh, okay, cool. So it is that one. TLDR. My favorite out of them is going to be the side swipe. However, the shortcut is handy to keep around for a couple of situations. They all kind of have their little niche. So more often than not, I'll use the side swipe. Stroke Doctor is a good one too, but then I kept using the side swipe. Shortcut's good for like small tight corners. Just sometimes you need that unique angle on it. That's what this is really good for. Titan, it looks like they fixed my gripe with it. They used to seam the rubber like right here. Now it's all one continuous piece, so I'll have to try this again. But this guy is something you guys should check out too. The whale tail, the green version, it looks silly, and you're not going to press down like this, but it forms really, really nicely to that back window. So really good to have one of these. So highly suggest whale tail, shortcut, side swipe. Those are some of the main ones, and then obviously a bulldozer. You always need a bulldozer. I've heard some people turn on rear defrosters while tinting. I do that too. Only for a few particular vehicles though. So I do that on Challengers, Chargers, Mustangs, the newer Mustangs, and 300s. All the ones with thicker defrosters that give you headaches. Everything else, there's no point. But if you tinted them and they turn out fine, like it's to prevent air pockets forming on the defrosters. They just, a lot of tinters had problems, including me. What year and trim? It's definitely like a 2021. I don't know offhand what trim it is though, but it's pretty good. I think it said on the side what it was. Sweet. Is that? Yeah, cool. That's good. All good. Yeah, man. Looks like we're all done. Hell yeah. Oh, except that little guy. That little guy right there. Is that something I gotta heat? Or just squeegee funny? Okay. Looking good. It's a Lariat. It's a 2021 Lariat. Yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't know. I see lots of differences between vehicles, but I could not tell you all the differences between trim levels. It's a nice one, though. Big screen. Okay, so he's got the sticker still. Let's take the key out before we close the door. Woo! So there we have it. Windshield and sunroof, now in ceramic, to match the front doors in ceramic. I wonder if he's going to bring it back in for the back on ceramic eventually. But ceramic, like, for the most part, like, definitely helps protect everybody in the vehicle. But if you're going to be, like, the main person that's driving it and there isn't a lot of passengers always in your car, doing the front doors and the windshield with ceramic is going to be the most important, followed by the sunroof and then the back. So some people just do the sides and the back. If you're doing ceramic, you really want to think about a windshield, because you're sitting in that cabin and you got just as much sun coming in through that windshield all the time. So you get hit from here, you get hit from here. But it looking good. Very happy with the way that this one turned out. Cool. Canon. Woo! And the battery survived. Sweet. That was a decently long stream, too. Where's my YouTube window? Oh, 2 hours. I thought it was longer than that. I guess it was a while to do a sunroof and a windshield. But I wanted to spend a little bit more time today because we had the opportunity to talk about the dash protector and that heat gun. So I don't know if I'm going to make that one into a separate video. Definitely the dash protector is going to be a video. I have another one sitting of the other heat gun, so that's going to be posted probably tomorrow. And yeah, we'll do a follow-up. So I like being able to do some differences now between tools, stuff that kind of fits into the stream that you guys would have questions about. So like squeegee comparisons, new tools, just like if I were to pick this up like a regular tinter and just put it into my day-to-day tomorrow, like, is it easy to use? Is it frustrating? Is it going to save me time? Is it basically the same? How does it compare? So always get questions about squeegees. So that's why we have so many different ones. They're all going to be kind of similar, but I think this one so far is my favorite. This is the hybrid. 2021 tool setup video. Yeah, when we're finally done, we can go through it. I'm like tweaking it a little bit because what I want to do is just kind of make it really practical for a tinter. And I do have all the extra ones, so in a regular toolbox, I probably wouldn't have that many different squeegees, but it's a little bit of both. It's like, you guys want to ask about different things, and we'll make it practical, so like if I need something, it's there. So I wouldn't tell everybody to go buy literally every squeegee that exists, but if you did, we're trying to figure out how that should look. My son likes your videos, and my wife is like, "You watching that guy again?" Yeah, there's a few people I watch that my wife feels that way about too. There was Linus Tech Tips for a while. His voice is a little unique to get used to. It's just like, God, his voice is so annoying. Love that channel. That shirt got me. I think I still might have it. We've had this shirt for a little while here. I'll drop the link though again, because I was like throwing some support towards the graphic designer. She's done. Oh, it's over here. This logo, my logo, and many other logos. The Tint Keg logos, like Sun Distributing stuff, a whole bunch of stuff for people in the industry. She does fantastic work. So that's kind of her like little apparel site where she makes fun logos and throws them on shirts and stuff. Linus, Marquez. Yeah, I like both of them. I watch more Linus for sure. I usually watch their daily videos. And then whatever I'm trying to figure out. So I have fog machines coming tomorrow. Spoiler. That'll be fun. For those of you that are still here. So we have I think a worthy replacement to the balloon that we haven't had on in quite a minute here. Should be fun. I'm just gonna say that. Let me watch Tint Studio in peace. Good stuff. All right, let's shout out some supers here. I did a lot of climbing on this vehicle. Where is it? Let's find the list. Alrighty. So before we end, we shout out super chats. There were quite a few today. Jose, Daniel, Swolgang, Alligator, Tracy, Daniel. Thank you all for the supers today. I greatly appreciate it. We had a little like barrage of $10 from a bunch of people in the very beginning. That was really encouraging. Good vibes. Can I put a listing on OfferUp every time I do for Tint? It gets taken down. I don't know about OfferUp. Excuse me. I don't know about OfferUp, but I know Facebook Marketplace has an issue with services. So some people will just throw it up and try and change some keywords in there to keep their listings up there, or they'll just continuously repost it, or other people will report other people. So they just don't, some of those services just don't like, or some of those marketplaces don't like services listed. They want products listed, or things people are actually tangibly selling rather than a service. I don't know why that is, but that is why they do that. So I don't know any tricks that you could do. I know Marketplace really sucked for advertising, so I just kind of stay away from that stuff. Yeah, it sucks because it's a good place to continue to advertise. Another place that always seemed to get work was like Craigslist, stuff like that. But sometimes you just find bargain hunters in those places, and they can be more of a nuisance than a benefit to your business. Impressing the people that you get and trying to get more referrals from them seems to like really get a good customer base. It's tough though, especially when it's slow. Like, what do I do? What I know I'm kind of crazy with the media that I do, but there's so many people that are sleeping on video and stuff like that. So Facebook still is good for advertising. I just like don't. It's worth boosting some stuff, and then trying to come up with some video content of you doing the work. You don't have to be talking. Just try and dress it up a little bit, and put that out there. You might get some good inquiries from that. People that enjoy actually watching a little bit of the process and then like feeling more comfortable with a place that is sharing how things are done rather than just like taking pictures and boosting them, because everybody does pictures. That's what I'm currently in right now, low on funds and tint, so I'm trying to do removals to save up for film. Well, there's plenty of places to post videos for free. So it is tough. Google My Business, Yelp, and some of the other ones. I don't know which ones are popular in your area, but Google My Business, when I put effort into Google My Business, that helps me a bunch. And you can just post as much stuff as you want on there. They even let you pay for it, like to boost it, but still. Google My Business was a big help for me. I'm going to start my first day at Discount Tire tomorrow as a mechanic, but you'll see more of me. Love your content, learning how to better my tinting skills. Oh, that's awesome. Keep working on it on the side. It'll pay more. It is a challenge to get there, but keep at it. I really appreciate that message, too. Alrighty, guys. I will see you later. Tomorrow? I don't think I'm streaming tomorrow, but probably Thursday. Thursday should be fine. Tomorrow, I am not exactly sure. I don't think I have much going on tomorrow, but I have some other stuff that I can get done. So there's going to be a video posted tomorrow, so look out for that. So you guys, have a good one. Thank you for the supers again, and I will see you probably Thursday, and then if something pops up tomorrow, we'll be back. But have a good one. Goodbye. Bye-bye.